Hey, South Plains. Amanda with Lubbock Area United Way. I am here with Joy Loper. She is the director for Upbring, and specifically Upbring's Neighborhood House and Health for Friends Clinic, which Health for Friends Clinic is one of the programs that United Way supports, and that your dollars support when you support United Way. And they have been really out there helping populations that are really kind of on the brink, folks that are really struggling to get through as people are being laid off, and or jobs are just slowing down, and so we're not getting as many hours. I know for United Way, we've been getting tons of calls and Facebook messages of people saying, I've never had to ask for help, but here I am, I need help. Who do I go to for help? Not even knowing. So Joy, why don't you tell us a little bit about your services and how you guys have adjusted, and what are people looking for when they're talking to you? What are you hearing from people who are coming to you guys for help?
Well, thank you, Amanda. Of course, for those who don't know, Neighborhood House has a long-standing history, like a 53-year history of providing help with basic needs to folks that are in crisis in Lubbock County. So that's what we've always been about. That's our mission. That's our goal. And that's continued on even through the coronavirus situation. And even though we've had to go into lockdown, just pretty much like everyone else, we're still considered essential, as we would be. But we have found ways to work around that situation and still be able to assist through our food voucher program and through utility assistance. And we'll go into that here in just a few minutes. But we're hearing the same thing that you're hearing, from people who have always been the ones that gave that helping hand and didn't have to ask for that helping hand. So you're dealing with people who are struggling even to make the ask, because it's just so outside the norm for them. And so we try to make sure that we help them with the utmost in compassion and empathy and dignity. We keep them, because there but for the grace of God go all of us. So this is a struggle for them. So I'm so happy that we can still be in the trenches and be able to help them.
That's great, Joy. I think that compassion and empathy and dignity is what so many of us need right now, and just realize that this is a hard situation for everybody. And there are some of us, that are living paycheck to paycheck. Mm-hmm. And when those paychecks stop or slow down, that just makes life so much harder. And you're talking families with kids. Some of the research that we've done in the last year or two is looking at our county's population. When you're talking Lubbock County, when you combine those that are under the poverty line and those that are just above it, that's about half of our county's population. So we're talking about a large group of people that are really struggling right now. So if people you mentioned utilities and food, and I know you have got a couple of other services. How do people get in touch with you? What do they need to do to apply for y'all's service?
It's actually quite simple. Of course, we have a long-standing cooperative effort with the food bank, and God love them for being able to continue on and help so many people with food assistance. And so all they have to do in that regard is call us. We're screening over the phone, and then we are able to just let the food bank know through Charity Tracker that we're sending that person out to them, and instructing the client on what they need to do once they get out there. It's such a simplified situation that they put into place to make this as easy as possible, not just on the staff, for all of us, but also for the clients as well. And so they're able to go out and get the food. There does have to be a little bit of restrictiveness, on how many times they can apply, because you're trying to help a tremendous number of people, not just us, but the food bank as well. This money and stuff like that is not growing on trees, but we're trying to help as many people as we can. And the same for the food bank. So that's what's happening with that. And then as far as the utility assistance, we now have an online application in place, which has just been a godsend. It truly has. And it's very simple to use. You just go on the City of Lubbock Community Development website, and you'll know you're in the right spot if it's a pretty orange across the top of the page. And scroll down a little bit, there's a box that says utility assistance. Click on that. It takes you to the portal. You go in as a new user, set up your password, fill everything out, hit the submit button, bingo. How simple could that be? And they can always call us if they have any problems with it or any questions on how to proceed with it. We're trying to help as many as we can. And I've been amazed at the number of people that have figured out how to do that. You know, as you and I just went through on those little fun things with technology and not always being our friends. We know that we have people our clients that have that same constriction. You know, they just don't have the capability all across the board. But they've been really good about finding ways to get people to help them set things up, or we can mail out applications to them. I mean, there are a number of ways that we can get the assistance to the people who need it. As you and I talked about before this started, you know, right now, of course, the utility companies are not disconnecting services, which is fantastic, but that won't remain that way. There's going to come a time when things are going to settle down and those bills are going to be due, and they will have increased exponentially as the time has gone by and there's been no payments on them. So it's best to be proactive now. Don't wait until you've got that disconnect notice, because then you're in trouble. Let us help you now.
So the message there is, Joy, you know, if you're starting to notice things pile up and you're not able to get them paid, now is the time to do something about it. And,
don't wait.
You know, I mean, we all hope things are going to get better. We know that things are going to get better eventually.
We just don't know when.
By the time that happens, you know, it may be that things have really, really gotten bad for some folks financially. And, you know, we know that government aid is coming. They're working on some more bills, but that's a slow process when you're talking about the amount of people that the government is getting aid to. So they can reach out to you and get those bills paid now, and instead of waiting. While we are talking about that, I want to go ahead and say, if you know, the government is doing that through the IRS. If you filed your tax form last year, then you should get that no problem. It'll be a really easy process for you. But if you did not file taxes last year, you still qualify and you could still get that. There's a link on the IRS website, which we'll put that in the notes when we post this video as well for you, so you can make sure that you can get that. But we'll also put a link to the city's website where you can apply for utility assistance and information about getting in touch with Upbring about food vouchers. Because you're absolutely right, Joy. We know that the food bank and a lot of folks have seen a huge increase in the number of people that they're serving. And we know that y'all are all getting food out and the other services and assistance out as quickly, as fast as you can, and trying to help and reach as many people as you can. But it's a hard circumstance, and there's a lot of us in this community and the surrounding communities that need help. Joy, anything else that you want to share while we've got you?
I do want to say that one of the other services that we're able to provide through the grant that allows us to do the utility assistance is HVAC repairs. You know, that's a costly little thing. If your furnace or your AC unit goes out, if there's a problem with that, that's something that we are able to assist with. Now, of course, right now we do have a problem with not being able to send the contractors or the inspectors out. But if you're having a problem with those units, go ahead and apply now. Get on the list, because what we'll do is screen your application. And then if everything is in place and you qualify based on the money, we'll talk about that in just a second, very briefly. But then we can go ahead and get you in the queue so that when things loosen up and those inspectors are able to go out, then we can work through that, because they're really quick about getting things accomplished when they're able to do their jobs. Okay, so that's very important. Go ahead and get on the list. The other thing I do want to mention on the utility assistance is that there is an income guideline. Your total gross annual income for your household cannot exceed 150% of the federal poverty level. So just be aware of that, but still go ahead and apply, because, you know, there may be other things that we can do through other pots of money, at least to the interim. Okay?
Okay, good stuff. So again, go ahead and apply, even if you're not sure if you qualify financially, go ahead and apply. And hey,
you're going to know if you're way over.
Yeah, and hey, we may be getting snow in April, but summer's still coming. It's time to get those HVACs repaired.
Yes,
it is that
well,
time.
You know, 80-30, 80-30. What do you do?
It's fine. It's West Texas. It's all good. Okay, Joy, I want to thank you so much for your time and your team. I know you guys are working so hard right now and doing a lot to help as many folks as y'all can. So thank y'all for all that you're doing. South Plains, we appreciate you and appreciate the way that you are stepping up and supporting United Way and our community partners, and the ways that you're reaching out and supporting your neighbors. So if there's anything that we can do for you, if there's anything any of our partners can do for you or information you're needing, let us know. But we will talk to you again real soon with some more updates from some of our community partners. Thank you.